What's up guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are covering chapter 327 of My Hero Academia titled Rest. So without any dilly-dally, let's hop right into the chapter. So the chapter begins with the 1A boys taking off Deku's clothes, giving him a bath, and throwing him into the bath. So this is a interesting start to the chapter by Horikoshi. I'm not sure where this was going initially when reading these leaks, but here we go. And Bakugo approaches Deku and tells him that he still wants to become the #1 hero, that they are still rivals, and he throws water in Deku's face. But just as he's about to call him Deku, he changes to Izuku, and Deku himself laughs and says he doesn't need to force himself to do it each time. This is really big character development from Bakugo. You know, he's called Deku since he was a kid, and now he's really actively trying to call him Izuku. But Deku's hero name is Deku, so I definitely feel Bakugo should still be able to call him that. They then get out of the bath and they go to the communal area of the dorms. Deku asks about Uraraka, and they say she went to sleep right after she finished her speech. And Deku apologizes to everyone for the trouble he caused, and Ashido asks about One for All. Our poor girl Ochako definitely deserves some rest after pulling off that amazing speech in front of all of that crowd, which is completely understandable. In all of Deku's classmates, they start asking about several different things, but Shoto intervenes by telling them to let Deku sleep. Deku then says he can't sleep until he apologizes to All Might because he said terrible things to him. And he's about to make a call, but All Might arrives at the 1A dorm and apologizes for not being helpful at all. He then says he has new information, and although he can't say anything specific yet, the next fight is very near, and he says that he will do everything he can to help, even with his body in a weakened state. Deku says that the famous tonkatsu lunchboxes he prepared were always important to him, and that he only started acting in that self-destructive way because he got further and further away from All Might. He finishes by saying that from now on, everyone will protect each other. All Might thanks him and says goodbye because he needs to go meet Endeavor. The students wonder why Endeavor doesn't come back to UA, but Shoto says that all the Dabi incidents might make some refugees uncomfortable when they see his face. He goes on to say that possibly the civilians won't even want to see Shoto himself, considering he's Endeavor's son and Dabi's brother. He then says he wants to break free from the bloodline's shackles and prove to everyone that he is different. He wants his presence to make people feel at ease. That's kind of a point I never really considered regarding the situation of Dabi, Endeavor, and Shoto. I never really expected that Shoto could possibly kind of get the brunt of the damaging of reputation given the relation to both of them, but that definitely is something real. And as we know, even if Shoto didn't do anything bad himself, just given his familial relation, he definitely could get some flack for it. And we see Deku fell asleep right before this, and they comment that he finally seems to be relaxed. Jiro then calls the band together, consisting of Momo, Bakugo, Kaminari, and Tokoyami, and says that they are thinking of doing something to relieve everyone's stress, just like they did at the cultural festival. They all seem happy with this idea, and they begin to reflect on their goal that they can't just make things go back to how they were before. They need to fix everything that was wrong. And to do this, they will all need to do their best, and we see a whole page of them saying that they will go beyond. I think that would be cool to see them do once again another beautiful performance. That was one of my favorite episodes regarding the last season, and one of the episodes I actually teared up on, especially seeing Aries. So getting the band back together could really kind of ease the nerves of the students and for a second remind them that things eventually will be okay again, and they will be able to do things like that without worrying about the end of the world and the final battle that is imminently approaching. The chapter then cuts to a scene of Hawks and Genist in a car, and Hawks says that based on the information they have extracted from Dr. Gakuri and the research they are doing with Nomus, it's safe to say it will take at least 2 months for Shigaraki's body to be complete. And the villains that Deku defeated said that All for One asked them to get One for All for them before the body is complete. So if the heroes want to take their lead, they will need at least 1 month in advance. We see Endeavor flying above them, and they say they thought Stain's papers would help with new information, but it was pretty much just a love letter to All Might. However, the information he got was actually on a chip hidden in the knife, and what it consisted of is the records from Tartarus security system. And the chapter ends here. I guess it's kind of big brain of Stain to gather all this information immediately after the breakout, I presume. God only knows that information could be on there. It could be a list of prisoners. It could be some of the officials there. There could have been some treachery going on within the system of Tartarus itself. Or it could be news on the traitor. So I'm really excited to see what the hell is in the information on that knife. It could be genuinely groundbreaking news. Given we now kind of have a timeline in Shigaraki's awakening, we see the heroes are kind of ready to launch their counterattack at least within a month. So this chapter, as the title Rest implies, was kind of just a chapter where everybody's kind of relaxing, catching back up. And for once, after all of these drama-filled chapters, we can see the UA students relax even just for a little bit. They have roughly a month to launch their counterattack and get prepared for it, and 2 months before the all-out battle ensues. And once Shigaraki awakens, as we know, there will be hell to pay on both ends, and tons of death, I'm sure. So bask in this chapter with the simple things like Deku and the boys taking a bath together, because we do not have long until more tears will come, just like there were in the war arc. So guys, if you enjoyed this chapter breakdown, please don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm really hoping for 1,000 subs by 2022, and I do think it's possible. So guys, as always, I appreciate all the support. Be forever greedier, and I'll catch you all next time.